Welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk Show. I'm your host, Andrew James, and today I'm pleased to have with us in studio via Zoom Ms. Vanessa Moore Brathwaite, owner, operator, and managing editor at Info 10 Guyana.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. James. Thank you for having me on your show today. I'm pleased to be with you.
Welcome to the show, Ms. Brathwaite-Moore. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself as it relates to your time at Mackenzie High School, please?
Well, I was born and bred in Linden. I attended Mackenzie High School in the year 2004, and my tenure lasted for 7 years. I was placed in 105, and when I completed my third year, I ventured into the business stream where I pursued 8 subjects at CXC. I was successful at all. And then I ventured into the sixth form where I pursued 3 key subjects, one of which was communication studies. And that prepared me for my career in which I am today.
Excellent. Very nicely said. You seem very excited about Mackenzie High School. Any fond memories of the school?
Well, while I placed my academic success on top, I was a bit naughty. I got into some fights. I got into some boy problems.
Uh-oh.
My mom had to visit the school a few times. My hairstyle was not always on par. I remember one time Miss Gibson, she had me sitting in her office. She actually had her hands in my hair, spinning it. Like, don't you know your hair is not supposed to be in this style? And so I had a little of that, but I really enjoyed my tenure here.
Wow. The fights, did you win the fights or did you lose?
I won, actually.
Very good. Congratulations. You should have been a fighter instead of a journalist today. Very good. How does Mackenzie High School prepare you for the real life of work? And if you can tell us what it is exactly that you do in your current job, please.
Okay, well, maybe from my 4th year, my teachers realized, my English teachers, they realized that I had a love for writing, and I also had a love for speaking. And so I would participate in a lot of essay competitions, debating, drama. And so when I entered 6th form, my teacher, Miss Camille Hines, she really had an impact on me. And so she encouraged me to pursue communication studies. And I did, and I was successful. And then I started University of Guyana, where I also pursued communication studies. I graduated with a distinction. And a few months after graduating, I started my journalism career at the Guyana Chronicle. I was the correspondent for Region 10 because I am from Region 10. And a few months after, I was promoted to a senior journalist, and I started freelancing for other government agencies, such as the Department of Public Information and the National Communications Network. I did that until this year when I resigned to start my own media company, Info 10 Guyana, of which I'm really proud of.
Very good. Any chance we can get you to host the show one day? It being you have a journalism background.
You to do that, definitely.
Do you want to start today?
No.
Okay, very good.
Let's wake up today.
Okay, all right. Okay, very good. Tell us a little bit more of about Info 10 Guyana. Break it down for folks that don't know about your business, what it is exactly that you offer, and tell us what inspired you to get into the business, how you started up, and how exactly it is you got to where you are today, please.
Well, I always had this desire to start my own media company in Region 10 because I always wanted to give back my skill set. And so I decided this year, during the whole elections in Passé, to materialize this desire that I had. And so I started to invest. So Info 10 is online and for Region 10.
Mm-hmm.
We have our website, it's info10guyana.com, and we're also on Facebook and Instagram. So on the 13th of December, I'll be launching my newspaper, which will be a monthly edition featuring communities and businesses and personalities, young people across Region 10. And I'm really excited for it because I feel this is what the people of Region 10 need. The newspaper, as well as our online platform, it seeks to promote the people of Region 10. It seeks to create a platform for the voiceless, to promote our successes, to highlight our challenges, so that with a view of bringing solutions rather, and most importantly, to keep our elected officials in check. Info 10, it's a people initiative. We're politically neutral, and our main aim is just to promote the people of this bauxite region. And so we're urging everyone to come on board with us. We're urging corporate society to come on board as sponsors, to advertise with us. And we also offer specialized document services. We offer business proposal services, business consultancy services, because I'm really big on helping people to provide for themselves or to empower themselves, especially young persons. And I realized during this pandemic that a lot of young people, they're not waiting on handouts. They've started their own businesses, but they need technical support and they need help. And so I am availing my platform to help these ones so that they can seek out financial organizations for funding and so forth. So that's what Info 10 is basically about.
Congratulations on the launch of Info 10 Guyana, and I hope you would put a picture or something of me in your papers on your first launch. Okay. Any teachers or mentors you want to recognize who have assisted you over the years to get to the point of where you are today, or any individual person or so on you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I'll start with Mackenzie High School because that's where my journey started. I would like to recognize my English and Communication Studies teacher, Ms. Camila Hine. She really had an impact on me. She was more than a teacher. She was a friend. She was a mentor. And she really channeled me into the person I am today. In my career as a journalist, I would like to recognize my friend and colleague, Ms. Svetlana Marshall, who's also a Lindener and who's also a former student of Mackenzie High School. We work together, we study together. Svetlana is a recognized journalist, and she also played a role in mentoring me during my career. When I started my business, I was experiencing some challenges with funding. And I would like to recognize Mr. Ida Clark, who came on board immediately upon me engaging him to provide what is needed financially and also technical support. And because of him, as well as my family and friends, Info 10 is where it is today. And I'm really grateful.
So I guess you were one of the lucky recipients that benefited from the I think the Raymond Foundation, some kind of bursary or some kind of promotion they had happening a couple months ago.
I wasn't part of that group. I wasn't part of that group, but I benefited nonetheless.
Very good. Congratulations on the launch of Info 10 Guyana, and I look forward towards working with you in the near future. Proud of you. Good to see good things coming out of Mackenzie High School, and I feel honored to be having this conversation with you today. Very nice. What advice would you give to current Mackenzie High School students?
We know Mackenzie High School is the leading high school in Region 10, and we want it to remain that way. And so see yourself not only as a student, but as a student that will make that change, or to keep that school at that level, to keep that respect that persons have, for Mackenzie High School. So in everything that you do, keep that in mind, that I'm not only here to pass through the 5 years or the 7 years, but I'm here to make a difference. And my advice would be to not only focus on your academics, but to get involved in extracurricular activities as well, because that will mold you into being a rounded person, and it will really mold you into whatever career you'll be pursuing.
Would you also advise them not to get into fights with each other?
No, I will not advise them not to, because I think that's all part of your high school journey. It's fun memories. Look back, we laugh. And so if you want to be a little naughty, I would advise you not to be a little naughty.
Okay, okay, very good. I think it's fair to say we've all benefited in some way, shape, or form from Mackenzie High School. Looking back in time, what do you think we can do as a group or as an organization to influence change in the life of current Mackenzie High School students or students as a whole?
Well, Mr. James, we're in a technological era and we're moving at a fast pace. We don't want Mackenzie High School to be left behind. And so upon my most recent visit to the school, I really realized that the teachers are still using a lot of traditional platforms, the chalkboard and uh, exercise book platform. And I think we really need to move away from that if we don't want to be left behind, and we don't want our students to be left behind. And we really want to prepare them for the world of technology. And so persons like yourself who are really active in trying to transform the school, I would encourage them to contribute tangibly to the transformation of the school, moving it from traditional school to a digital school. And so one of the important aspects of doing so is ensuring that the school has a strong internet connection, and then we can move to contributing or providing the gadgets, the digital gadgets that are needed to enable the students to, to do their work in that regard.
Very nicely said. As a journalist and a potential future host of this show, I'll put you in the spot and then give you an opportunity to ask me a question.
Okay. First of all, I must commend you for the work that you're doing with the Let's Talk show, and
Thank you.
also for highlighting Mackenzie High School. I know that you're an active alumni, but what motivated you? You're over there. You would have already pursued whatever career you're in, and you would have already developed yourself. But what motivated you to still play a role in the transformation of the school?
I think, and that's a very good question. Thank you for your question, and thank you for your compliment and recognizing the Let's Talk show. Um, that's actually a very good question. The motivation was fundamentally formed around connecting to old colleagues. So the reality of my life and looking back at my time at Mackenzie High School, most of the folks that I went to school with, who are now grown people and they have their own homes and their own jobs and their own family, they're no longer living in Guyana. A small percentage of them are still in Guyana. And the real motivation for me doing this is realizing when I was young, I didn't have a lot of opportunities in terms of, we grew up as a working class family with limited resources. And so much has changed for Linden. The bauxite company, which was the main source of income and development in the Linden community, is no longer there. I worry for those kids that's going to school at Mackenzie High School and Linden Foundation and all the high schools in Guyana, and more importantly, the primary schools as well. I can't help everybody. I can't help every school, but I think it starts with us as individuals. And that was basically my motivation. I basically had a conversation with a bunch of friends, and we decided, you know what? We are not rich and famous, but we are living comfortable lives whereby we have more than most. And we are living lives in which we can feel ourselves to organize and give back to students. So it's the sense of community and the sense of paying it back, paying it forward, if I may, realizing where we came from and having this willingness and this ability of wanting to give back. Um, like I said, when I was at Mackenzie High School, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't have. I grew up, I wouldn't say poor, but I grew up living a reasonable life. Um, one pair of socks. That was my reality. Some days I didn't have a pen. And these small tangible items, we find ourselves being in a position where we have surplus. We find ourselves living comfortable lives whereby we can afford to donate a couple pair of socks to Mackenzie High School to students who don't have. We find ourselves in a position whereby we can donate supplies to the school so we can pass it on to students who are not in a position to afford those supplies. We find ourselves in a position whereby we can coordinate a laptop drive, which can benefit both students and teachers at Mackenzie High School. And having that courage and being bold and courageous enough to organize and get together and do it, I think that was the main motivation for me doing it. And to just genuinely look out for the guys on the bottom. There's a lot of people that are dropping out of school. There's a lot of people who can't afford supplies. And if we can be that agent to bridge that gap, I say at the end of the day, together, we are making a difference. I hope I was able to answer your question, Miss
Great. So you
Brathwaite-Moore,
have,
future host of the Let's Talk show.
yes, you did. So do you have any tangible projects that you're presently working on?
So as you're aware, we have the laptop drive that's doing very well. I think we just this morning I checked, it's somewhere north of $2,000. I think our goal is to acquire a total of $5,000, in which we are planning to um, purchase laptops and send it to Mackenzie High School. These laptops are going to be the property of the school, and they'll be loaned out to teachers who are not in a position um, not in a position to have laptops and to conduct their virtual classrooms. Sad reality at Mackenzie High School is we have teachers at Mackenzie High School that are using their cell phones to teach classroom, and that in itself is a bother for me. So in addition to that, we just recently wrapped up a supplies drive in which we sent a bunch of supplies to Guyana, being papers and glue sticks and pens and pencils and so on. We sent a bunch of socks. We sent some gloves for the guys doing the agriculture science stream. We actually purchased two internet signal boosters for the school, which is going to allow, like you said earlier on, a transmission of internet signal throughout the schools in the different buildings that they have there at Mackenzie High School. So we are working aggressively, and currently the laptop drive is live and well. If you have contacts, if you have people that are willing to donate, that are comfortable in themselves to do so, I want to impress with you to share the information with them. If they are able to give, have them go. It's very transparent. It's open. Everyone can see it. It's on GoFundMe, and I'll be more than happy to share the link at the end of the show. I'll send it to you personally, and if you are so desirous, you can share with the folks in your circle, and together we can continue to make an impact at Mackenzie High School.
And is there any particular way you would want Info 10 to play a role in the lives of students at Mackenzie High School?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question. We're always looking at ways and means to form partnership to work with others. I am a big believer in transparency. And I think earlier you mentioned that you have no political affiliation. I love folks that are involved, that are independent and can make decisions independently. So before we actually connect and work with groups, I have a strong team of admins that I work with. These guys do a lot of venting. I know from what I've seen and what I've read of your Info 10 Guyana group, you guys are doing fantastic work, and I look forward to working with you. But we do have a process in place whereby each company that we associate and we develop working relationship is sent through a vigorous process of vetting by all of our admins in the group. I'm pretty sure your organization or your group is going to do well, and together we will be able to establish a working relationship and do good things for Mackenzie High School.
Great. Well, I'll be happy to come on board anytime. If it's for the benefit of the students and the teachers and the advancement of Mackenzie High School, I'm always willing to come on board.
And in closing, we're just up against time. On behalf of the Mackenzie High School Alumni Association North American Chapter, I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for joining with us and sharing your time and your experience as it relates to your time at Mackenzie High School. Congratulations on your business, and I look forward towards working with you to develop in Linden, developing Mackenzie High School, and fostering a more sense of a stronger working relationship amongst our alumni at Mackenzie High School.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a part of the show, and stay safe.